Hello everyone, my name is Danny. Today my presentation's title is The Importance of Structure and Function of Pathogenic Proteins for Tumorigenesis. This is my contents. I have 5 parts in my presentation. The first one, background. Second, lecture review. Third is methods. Fourth is findings and discussion. The last one is conclusion. The first part, background. Background. Nowadays, tumor and cancer are one of the most dangerous diseases in the society. Many people die because of cancers, and cancerous tumors are very dangerous. They can spread into or invade nearby tissues. It means it can spread very quickly, and so it is hard to treat cancers. And the third one is proteins are large biomolecules. They perform many different functions in different organisms. So the proteins is the main target research in my paper. And the last one is changes in the structure and function of proteins in cells are one of the most important causes of tumorigenesis. So my research question is, how can we find pathogenic protein in the tumor? Because if we find the protein, we can know how to deal with the tumor and the cancer, and we can know the protein is different from the normal proteins in the normal organism. The second one is, how do we get an analysis the function and structure of proteins? It's very hard because scientists in the past several years they don't find a very convenient and effective ways to do that. If you want to analyze one protein, you always spend about 1 year or more than 1 year to prefer the protein, and then you analyze it, and maybe you can't do successful work in the first time. You need to try it more and more times. I have to one protein in my experience, and it's a very hard work, I think. So the second part is literature review. This is 3 papers in my review. The first one is introduce an important protein, effervescent. It is I will analyze it in my next methods. The second paper told me about signal pathway in the cells, and the last paper told me about protein production, and I will use it to analyze effervescent in my discussion part. And the third part is methods. First I have interviewed to my teacher. I'm a professor in my undergraduate school. I have worked in his research group for 1.5 years, and his name is Yunlong Zhang, and he is very talented people. He told me a lot about how to do research and how to write protocols and how to do experiment. I'm very thankful for him, and he told me a lot about my research topic and answer my questions and recommend me some courses to learn in my future careers. The second method is protein structure protection. This is a subsite about a tool to analyze protein's structure. And you can submit your target protein sequence, and then they will analyze it online, and you will get the result about after 1 week or more. It is determined by your sequence length or your proteins complex is complex or not. And the fourth part is findings and discussions. The first findings, I find how to find the target protein from disease, because of this disease, and we can know the people is different from normal people, and also the disease in the organism is different from the normal organism. So the gene level and the protein level must have some changes. So we can, through gene levels and protein levels, to know which genes and which protein has been changed, and we can know how. So then we can know the pathogenic protein is what. The second one is the difference between the cancer cells and the normal cells. The main difference between the cancer cells and the normal cells is the cancer cells cannot stop growth because they will not die, and they will develop more and more and more. So then it causes tumors, and the normal cells can be died, and then the new cells will be developed. So the cancer cells will cause tumor, and another reason is the signal pathway in the cells, and they can't stop the signal pathway. Then the switch is only open, and they can't close it. So the people will be die because of that. And the third findings is production on protein structure. I told it before, and it is a convenient and effective way because we can't use a lot of time to do experiment, and then we just analyze it on the website or on the software, and they may not have failed. But another main problem about the production on protein structure is his confidence is not very good, and many scientists, or you can say the most of the scientists, don't think it is confident. But I think in the future, the computer science give computer science more time to develop, and we can have a software or combine different methods to protect the protein structure. I think it will happen in the future because to do experiment is very hard, and people cannot do an experiment for every proteins. The proteins is very large group, and you may not know if the protein is different, the experiment method and the purification method will be changed a lot, and you will try it more and more times. It's a very bad experience. And the last one is a cancer treatment plan through the structure analysis. Yes, we want to treat and cure cancers because we don't want anyone die because of it, and it makes people confused for many years. But actually now we don't have a method to promise you, oh, I can treat or cure the cancers. But I think in the future, maybe 20 years later, we will do successful work and to treat it. But maybe at that time we'll have another disease we meet, and many people dead of because of it. But we don't need to concern about it now. So biology scientists need to do more work, I think. So the result of the production structure of proteins in this picture, and the softwares divided the FLCM protein into 5 domains, and the last domain has been analyzed by other scientists, and they put the models online. So I can see the production result is very similar to the experimented result. So it means production is useful, and the result is confidence. And what makes me interested in is the second domains of SCN, because you can see two helix part from different part of the protein domains, and between the two helix is a sheet structure. If someone knows about the secondary structure, you can know it is this combine of these three structures makes the protein easily to interaction with other proteins, so it may cause the cancers because of this interaction with other proteins. So the conclusion is finding pathogenic proteins is the most crucial first step in the studying of tumorigenesis. And the protein structure production is an effective and convenient method of research. It will not make you waste a lot of time, and you save your time, and you can put your focus on another research. And the last conclusion is future research can focus on drug target from the protein structure analysis. Because of structure analysis, we can know the function, like the second domain of CNC. From the structure we can know, oh, it can interact with other proteins. So next time we will focus on the experiment about the second domains. It can be work, I think.